Hello my friends, I still remain your teacher, and that is Teacher Morris. And before we start what we're going to look at right now, let's first go through the SOPs, and that is keeping the social distance. 2 is washing your hands regularly, and 3 is wearing your mask. And if you don't have the mask, you put on your face shield as I have. This is how you have to put on it. But before you put on, make sure you clean your hands or you sanitize your hand. That is what we have to do. But right now, I am free from anyone having COVID, and I can go and teach you without the face shield. Alright. Right now, we are going to look at addition of numbers using a number line. But before we look at how we can add numbers using a number line, we have first of all to look at some of the new words that we can see in this word. So the first thing is a number line itself is the first new word in that case. That is a number line. We have a number line, is a new word. 2, we have what we call positive integers. We have the positive integers. We have positive integers, and then also we have what we call negative integers. We have negative integers. So these are some of the new words that we have to look at. And then also we have what we call neutral number. And the neutral number is always 0. Why do I call it as a neutral number? It does not have any sign. 0 does not have positive, neither does it have negative. That's why we call 0 to be a neutral number. So these are some of the keywords. But then now, let's look at our example 1, where we are going to see how we can add numbers using a number line. So we said that we have new words like positive integers and negative integers. What do we mean by positive integers? They have a plus sign. And then the negative integers have a negative sign. So in other words, positive integers have plus sign, and then negative integers have negative, or it has a minus sign. Now let's look at our example 1. And we see how best we can answer the question using a number line. So we have our example 1, where the question is saying add. The question is saying add. We are saying positive 2 and then plus positive 3. When you're writing the positive sign, make sure the bit raised on top, not on top, just slightly above the number, but don't write it as the plus sign because it will confuse you. Now, let's look at how we can add these numbers using a number line as the question is telling us, as it is saying. So the question is saying we add positive 2 plus positive 3. Now, what are we supposed to do in this case? We have to draw our number line. We have to draw a number line. That's good. And make sure that your number line is straight. It is straight. And when you have drawn that, what are you supposed to have? You must have the arrow on both ends. It must have arrow on both ends. Why is it a number line must have arrows on both ends? It shows that the integers on either side are still continuing, both on a positive side and also on a negative side, means that the integers are still continuing. We cannot write all our integers on this short number line, but we use what we call an arrow on both sides to show that the integers are still continuing on both sides. Now, how are we going to look at this? The first thing we have to look at is our 0. And we say the 0 is a neutral number. Don't say positive 0, neither does it carry a negative sign. It's like I, the teacher, get the two children fighting in the class. I should not start jumping and say, yes, give him. I have to be a neutral person. I have to say, please stop fighting with your friend. So I become a neutral person. I don't have any side that I support. That's why we call 0 a neutral number, because it does not have a positive side, neither a negative side. It does not carry any sign. Now, we are having the integers, and we say that positive integers are negative integers. Now, you can ask yourself, where is the positive side and where is the negative side? Now, as we are having our number line, the positive integers always are on the right-hand side, and then the negative integers are on the left-hand side. Now, we are going to start presenting our integers. That is from the positive side. It starts from 1. It's like counting numbers. From 0 we go to 1, and from 1 we go to, so don't say 0, 5, 7, no, because here is saying 2. We have to start from 1. So we are saying here is positive 1. After positive 1, we shall go to positive 2, and after positive 2, we shall go to positive 3, and after positive 3, we shall go to positive 4. After positive 4, we shall go to positive 5. It doesn't mean that even you are supposed to stop on positive 5. No, you can continue. But because I have a very small space, that's why I've ended on positive 5. But if you have enough space, you can still continue with other integers on the positive side. Now, since we have had that up to positive 5, let's go on the negative side, where we shall have the negative 1, we shall have negative 2. So, this is our number line right now. It has the neutral number as being 0, does not have positive, neither negative. Then it has the positive sign, where we have the positive integers carrying the positive signs. So with these signs here, the plus sign, these are not called plus 1, neither plus 2, but we call it positive 1, we call it positive 2, we call it positive 3, positive 4, and so on. Then on this side we have the negative side, negative integers. This is supposed to be negative, sorry. It's supposed to be negative, not positive. We cannot mix the two signs on one side. Now, the question is telling us that we have to add. That is positive 2 plus positive 3. Now, does not mean that we count the numbers, that 1, 2. No. We count the steps, the gaps in between the numbers. Like from 0 to 1, this is 1 step. Then from 1 to 2, these are 2 steps. So now the question is saying we add. That is positive 2 plus positive 3. It's just saying we have to move 2 steps, but on the right hand side or on the positive side. I want us to do this practically. Like as I am standing right now, I am at 0. I'm not moving. So whoever is seated or is standing means that is at 0. He has not made any movement. Now, when I'm standing, or right now I'm standing, the side that I'm facing becomes the positive side, and where my back is facing becomes the negative side. Now, the question is telling us that we have to add, that is positive 2 plus positive 3. Now, as I'm standing, the question is saying move forward or move on the positive side. 2 steps. So I will move 2 steps. That is 1 and then 2. But the question is saying I have to add on 3 steps. So when I add on 3 steps, I will have 1, I will have 2 and 3. So that when we count from 0 up to where the steps has ended, we shall have how many steps? We shall have 5 steps altogether. Now, let's leave alone that and we go on to what we have right now here. The question is saying we have to add positive 2 plus positive 3. Therefore, our movement, all where by the time I was making it, we started from 0. We started from 0, meaning that we all start from 0 and we count how many steps? 2 steps, but on which side? Positive side. That is 1, we have 2. So meaning that our first movement will stop here. It will stop on positive 2. Doesn't mean that we have to leave it like that. Join from 0 up to positive 2. That is, and indicate the direction of the movement of the arrow. So that means this is positive 2. You have moved 2 steps but on positive side. The question is saying plus 3. Does not mean that I come back and start from 0. No. I will start from where the arrow has ended. So meaning that we add more 3 steps from where we have stopped. So if I move 1 and then 2, the question is saying add more 3 steps. Don't go back. We have to continue from where we have ended. So that is 1, we have 2, and then 3. That means when we count from 0 up to where I've ended, it will give us the total of all the steps that has been moved, but on the positive side. So we shall continue from 2. That is 1, we have 2, and 3. So we are ending where? At 5 exactly. Then we join. Make sure you don't join on a straight line, but make sure this arrow is slightly above. Is slightly above the first arrow. And indicate, don't leave it like that. Make sure you indicate the direction at which you are moving. But this is positive 3. So now, when I see what is our answer, our answer will start from where the arrow started first. That is from 0 up to where the last arrow is pointing. And then we join this from 0 up to 5. And we should not leave it like that. We also indicate the direction at which we were moving, and we don't leave it open. We shall say this is positive 5. Now, how can we make it? We shall say, therefore, the positive 2 plus positive 3 gives us a total of positive 5. That is what the answer is. Let's underline it, and you underline your answer correctly, like that, and move it to lines. That is our first example. Let's look at the second example, and we also see what we shall get. Example 2. Let's see example 2, and we get our answer correctly. Example 2, the question is saying add. The question is saying add. Add 3, positive 3 plus positive 4 using a number line. Using a number line. So let's see how best we can also add that number. Let's have our solution and then see how best we can also work out that question correctly. Our question is saying, the question is saying positive 3 is saying positive 3. Let's make it slightly above there. Positive 3 plus positive 4. Now, we said that if a question is given like that, we have to draw our number line. Make sure your number line is straight and then draw the line. After drawing the line, we said that we should not leave it like that. What are we supposed to do? We have to put the arrow on both ends, on this side and then also on the other side. We said, why do we put arrows on both ends of a number line? It shows that the numbers are still continuing on both sides or on either sides. So we have the first one. We said that after drawing our number line, we have to have 0. And we said 0 is the starting point. Why do we call it a starting point? Because if someone is at rest, then it shows that someone has not made any movement. So we have to start from 0. All our movement, we say that must start from 0. And we said 0 is called a neutral number. We said on the right hand side, we have what called the positive integers, and on the left hand side, we have what called negative integers. So we have here to be positive 1, we have positive 2, we have positive 3, we also have positive 4, we have positive 5, we have positive 6, and because of the limited space, I have positive 7. And then on the left hand side, we have negative 1, and I have negative 2. So let's see how best we can add 3 plus 4. But all of them are having one side, that is positive side. Now, let's see how best we can work out that. We see that our movement, all of it, must start from 0. So we are saying that it is 3 steps, but on which side? On the positive side, on the right hand side. So we shall start our movement from 0, and then we count how many steps? 3 steps, not on the left hand side, but on the positive side. That is 1, we have 2, we have 3. So those are 3 steps. We join this. We place the ruler straight, join these from the first arc up to the second one. Don't leave it like that. Indicate the direction of the movement, shows that we move in positive direction, and we indicate how many steps were those. There were 3 steps, but on which side? On the positive side. We said that we have to continue. The question is said, from where we have stopped, we have to add on more 4 steps. That means from where we have ended, that is 3. We have to add on more 4 steps. Not counting from 0, but we count from where we are stopped. So meaning that from here, we shall count more 4 steps. That is 1, that is 2, that is 3, and 4. So you will see that we shall end here. Which number is that? Is positive 7. So we join now from where the first arrow ended up to where the last arrow ended. That means we have to indicate also the direction. Now, when I leave it like that, it is not yet correct. It is incomplete. So we have to put here, how many steps were those? That was 4 steps, but on the positive side. So we should not end like that, because still right now we don't know the answer. Someone can say it's 3, but our answer must start from 0 up to where the last arrow is, meaning that the answer is positive 7. So we indicate by starting from 0 up to the last arrow, that is 7, put the ruler straight, join these 2, and indicate the direction at which the arrow is moving, or at which we were moving. So meaning that we have to indicate on the other side. So if you indicate on this side, means that your answer is 0. But of which, when you add the 3 plus 4, does not give you 0. It gives us 7. That's why we emphasize that the arrow must point on the direction at which we are getting the answer. So this is positive 7. And we shall say, therefore, positive 3 plus positive 4 gives us the answer as positive 7. And that is our answer in that case. Now, I want also to inform you by telling you that in case a number is not having any sign, take for example, they have said 3 plus 4. Any number without a sign that is a positive means that that number is positive. So don't get scared in case you get this. It's the same as this, right? When you get this, it's the same as that. Just take it to the number line. If the question is instructing you to use the number line, just take it and work it out. I believe that through those examples, the 2 examples, we can try some numbers. Yes, we can try some numbers. Let's have activity number 1. Activity. And in our activity, want to see how best we can also add these numbers. The question is saying, add the following. Add the following correctly. Add the following. Add the following correctly. Using a number line. Using a number line. Number 1, we are saying that a part of it is positive 3 plus positive 2. B part of it is saying positive 4 plus positive 2. C part of it is saying positive 3 plus positive 6. And D part of it is saying positive 5 plus positive 4. And E is just saying 6 plus 2. So let's try those now.